Hello and welcome to Vegan Cheesecake, your favorite podcast all about the Golden Girls and
vegan food.
I am Dave Huffman, the bitchy vegan homo.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Vegan Vicki of Urban Sweetness.
And today we're going to be talking about episode 10 of season 2.
Love Rose.
Oh, Love Rose.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Rose. Can I just say that we are in the same room right now?
We are. We're in the same room.
But we are practicing social distancing.
We are very socially distanced. I have possibly the world's largest sofa.
Yes, it's very comfortable too.
And
I must add.
We are very far away from each other.
Yes.
But it's nice to see your face in person.
It's so awesome to be in the presence of someone else.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a thrill.
Awesome.
What a thrill for you to be able to see me in person.
I'm telling you,
What a just a sincere pleasure it must be.
How can I just reap the benefit all the time? That's all I'm saying.
No one should have this kind of access to me, so you should just be so privileged.
Okay, I feel privileged.
You are.
I feel blessed.
You are very blessed, obviously.
Thank you. I feel it.
Yes. But, well, here, I'll use it as an awkward transition into the plot of this. You know who's not blessed with romantic connections?
I know.
Poor Rose.
Rose.
Oh, so this
Rose
episode...
could not get any loving.
No, this one is all where Rose is bemoaning her lack of romance, and they persuade her to place ads in personal ad.
Yes,
and,
in the local paper.
In the local paper. And then the subplot to this, if you want to call it a subplot, is that Sophia is being actively pursued by a 90-year-old man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My man was pursuing her with his ascot. Yes. With his ascot.
Uh-huh. Well, it's a good look. It's a look that I think someday maybe I'll be able to rock. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah. Maybe from 85 on, if I live to be 85 years old, I'm going to start wearing an ascot.
You have to.
Yeah.
Kind of in the Fred Jones type of from Scooby-Doo.
I got
his name, Fred Jones?
I don't remember his last name, but I knew who he meant.
Oh,
yeah, Fred.
Yes.
And I always remember Charles Nelson Riley wore a lot on
he did
on the match
wear
game.
ascots.
Yeah. I think we've talked about Charles Nelson Riley in here before. Oh, because
he was in the,
they referenced him in the Golden Girls. That's why we talked about him. Yeah, there you go. But I actually think this one isn't one of the funniest episodes, but it's got some good. It's got some good lines, like where Dorothy says something about her Blanche. Fortunately, she carries flints in her bra.
To create sparks all the time. You know she do. Nasty, little nasty. And one of my favorite parts is when they're at the kitchen table and Blanche talks about the mailman inviting him in for a cafe latte.
Oh.
And he was having trouble carrying his sack. Yes. Come on through, Blanche.
I think there's a double entendre there.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not sure what it could possibly be.
I don't know either.
But there is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I like whenever Dorothy. Oh no, well, it's Blanche at first. She's telling the story and she whispers social disease.
Yeah.
Like that someone has a social disease. And then Dorothy responds back about something about penicillin.
Right.
And I like whenever people do that where they try to like be subtle and like whisper. Like, what's the point of that?
Right.
Because if you're going to whisper talk, everyone can just hear you anyway.
Right. Everybody hears you. Because some people cannot whisper.
No.
I think I'm one of the, because you know what? I'm hard of hearing in my right ear.
Uh-huh.
So
you only got the one volume?
Right.
Yeah.
So me whispering might be a little suspicious.
Well, I have a dear friend who only has one volume of talking, and it is extremely loud. I love him to death. I remember years ago when we first started becoming friends, we went to have dinner at Cafe Tandor.
Okay.
And I was sitting there at the table, and it was literally the first time we'd ever gone out, just like hang out, like just two of us. And I remember thinking to myself, if I were at any other table in this restaurant, all I would be doing is talking about how loud that guy is at that other table.
Right.
And he stopped by to visit a little bit ago. It's like literally he was just riding his bike past my house. And so I went out on my front porch and we're talking. And I live right across the street from a school. And his voice was echoing off this building so loud. Like literally people on either end of the block would be able to hear every word he was saying. He just projects.
Is so funny.
He has one volume. So
That's hilarious.
I don't think he could whisper.
That's so funny.
Next time I talk to him, I'm gonna make him whisper. I just want to hear it. I just want to know if he's even capable to do it.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I sometimes because I talk loud.
You're a sometimes you're a loud talker.
Yeah, I'm a loud talker because of my hearing. So I'm thinking I'm talking normal, and people are like, "Why are you shouting?" I'm like, "Am I?" Then I just go from 10
Then you
to
whisper
1.
talk. Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah, but I'm a loud talker because I have that hearing issue. But that's so funny.
I also just want to point out the fact that you've got a hoodie on. You haven't taken your hoodie off.
You know what I forgot?
Is this
my
because?
Hair is still,
because
my hair. Okay, so
you had described it as.
I did. Let me tell y'all. So my hair is natural, meaning I don't have like any chemicals or anything in it. So I have to do like my shampoo regimen, and then I condition it and everything, and then I like braid it up, but I 2-stranded so it'll be wavier.
Gotcha.
So basically, I look like Celie from The Color Purple. You know, me and you will never part. And it's still wet. Like it takes maybe like a good 2 days if I don't sit under the dryer. It takes like a good 2 days for my hair to like dry all the way through. So
I don't even know. I don't.
So it's like. I'm like, and this morning I was like, oh, great, I'll take my hair out. It'll be nice and curly and just bouncy. And then I'm like, oh, my God, it's not dry yet.
Yeah.
So I refuse to take them out. And I had my hood on. I just really forgot to take my hood off.
That's okay.
I
just remember you saying that you look like Miss
Celie
right
from
now.
The Color Purple. I'm telling you. But the after effect of looking like Celie, I'm looking like a beautiful queen.
Well,
so
you are a beautiful queen anyway.
So, but yeah, but a lot of times I forget that I have my hood on because I love hoodies.
Yeah.
So I'll like put my hoodie on and I'll like put my hood on and I'm walking in the store looking like a common criminal. That was back when I liked them rough.
There's nothing common about you.
I know, right?
Well,
I am very unique and one of a kind.
You are, for sure. Well, speaking of hair, we'll just completely go off topic here from Golden Girls. We'll come back to food and Golden Girls in a second, but I just have to tell you about my public meltdown on Friday.
Oh, no, what happened?
Well, I went and got my hair cut. And because, you can get your hair cut, you get your hair cut again. And my hair was literally about almost 3 months past when it should have been cut.
No way.
Because right before this all shut down, I was getting, I was already a few weeks late. Then they shut it down. So I finally went and got my hair cut. Everyone's wearing their masks. They were actually very good. I felt comfortable in the salon. They were like disinfecting everything in between everybody. They're taking temperatures as you go in. They were being very thorough at the barbershop.
Right.
So I appreciated that. What I did not appreciate is that they had not thought about all the extra time that all that stuff was going to be taking. And my appointment.
Gosh. How long were you in there?
My appointment was for 2:30. I sat down in the barber chair at 4:10.
Wow.
Yeah. And so when I got there and they told me, well, we're running like an hour late. And I sort of was like, well, couldn't you have called me? I was like,
hour late.
Isn't that your job?
That's
and
cause
to
for
tell
like...
me. Yeah. So, because was working, during the day. And so I had to so I left and went and did some stuff. And then I came back and I was still like there for another 40 minutes after they told me it was going to be an hour.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. And then I just kind of, I felt a little bad because I did kind of lose it. And
but you know what?
Because I was just a little frustrated. Everybody's a little frustrated right now.
They are.
Yeah.
It is. It's our new normal.
Yeah.
And we have to get over the frustration.
Well, I know that they're still learning, but I feel a little bad. And initially I was like sitting there like, he's not getting a tip. I'm not giving him a tip. But then I, of course, gave him a very nice tip because he hadn't been working for a month. So, or 2 months or whatever it was.
But you know what?
That's... Yeah, it was some not good. All right, let's...
Okay.
You can tell that we just haven't seen each other for a while.
Listen, so you're going to get all kind of randomness. So just deal with it. That's what I would say. Yes.
Anyway. All right. So Love Rose. Golden Girls.
Wait,
okay.
I'm sorry. But this is one of my, before we get into Isaac Newton.
Oh, yes.
And everything.
Uh-huh.
One of my favorite parts is still at the kitchen table when Rose talks about her uncle.
Yes.
And Blanche says, honey, if it was your uncle, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't like you all were cousins. I said, wait a minute.
Where
what?
there could have been a chance.
Where there could have been a chance. I had to stop.
Well,
I'm like, wait a minute.
It's the South. Blanche is from the South. They have different rules down there.
And my people are too. But we ain't going back in biblical days.
It's like more than kissing cousins.
Right. I was like, wait a minute, what? So that took me out.
No, that was a great bit. And then she says something about, and then Dorothy says to Blanche, were any of your relatives in Deliverance?
Right. Right.
Which is still, I love the fact that Deliverance is still the go-to reference.
It is
40 plus years later.
Listen,
for any kind of inbred rednecks.
That movie was crazy.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
I have been watching some classic Burt Reynolds films from the 70s during this break. Yeah, I just watched, not Gator, what's White Lightning, the other moonshining one. Gator's the sequel.
Okay, I've heard of it, never watched it.
Well, it's an entertaining little movie. It's like a revenge kind of movie.
See, but you know what? People, we're going off topic. I don't care. But
well, no, Burt Reynolds is very on topic for the Golden Girls.
Because he is definitely a reference in the Golden Girls.
And he was in an episode of Golden Girls. So, yes, you can just keep talking about Burt Reynolds.
Some of my favorite, favorite old movies. So, I love Rio Bravo. Which I love that movie.
Yeah,
I've been watching that.
Okay.
And, oh my gosh, this is going to be so off topic. But I love the movie Holiday Inn.
Which, as you know, my day job is programming films and stuff, and I specifically never play Holiday Inn because of.
Wait a minute, and I'm gonna tell you something. I love Turner Movie Classics. Yeah. Okay. My first time seeing Holiday Inn was on Turner Movie Classics.
Okay.
So of course.
They edited that out?
Edited that out.
See, of course, now we have to explain because people might not know.
Right, I'm about to get to it.
All right.
So I said, oh, my God, I love this movie. Because I'm like, I love singing, dancing. I go buy the DVD.
I can't believe they edited that.
Watching the DVD. It gets to the part. I said, excuse me, what the hell?
Yeah.
So basically, Holiday Inn is about a man. He gets dumped. He goes and buys this resort.
It's Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby, right? And Bing Crosby and
I'm blanking.
It's not Fred Astaire. Oh my God, who was
I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he goes out and buys this inn, but they're only open on major holidays. So they're only open on major holidays. On Turner Movie Classics, wait, was it 4th of July? That it would no.
It's been a long time since
I forgot. But whatever holiday.
It is Fred Astaire. It is Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire.
It is Fred Astaire.
That's how long ago since it's been since I've seen it.
On this one holiday, they show up in blackface and like pickaninny ponytail. And I know people are like, why is a black lady laughing? Because and on Turner Movie Classics, they edited that part. So you never saw that part. So I never saw that part. So then, when I get the DVD, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, this is my movie. And I'm singing with the thing.
And you're like, look at those racists.
And then next thing I know, these people show up in black. And I had to turn it off for a second. I said, what the hell is going on? But I mean, all aside, it's a great movie.
Well, the thing is, I know people want to just erase and change the past,
right?
And I'm against that. I feel like you need to kind of still be like, the past is what it is, and you have to go like, boy, I can't believe how messed up the past was.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't just. I think it's wrong that they edit that out because
it shocked me.
Right, because look what happened. They've presented something that isn't true to what it actually is.
And I'm telling you,
and
when
you had
I
a
saw,
false
when
reaction
I first saw
to
it,
it.
I never saw that part, but when I saw it, I called Cindy. I said, "Girl, did you know that?"
Well, do you know how many times Judy Garland did blackface?
It's amazing. It's when you look back and like
pretty much everyone did at some point.
Everybody did it,
yeah.
And it's like I mean, and the thing is, honestly, like back then,
it was no big deal.
It was like their norm. It was acceptable and stuff like that. So, and it's like I don't get mad.
They felt it was inclusive. They didn't think, they thought it was like,
and you know what else? Okay, and then we're gonna get back to this, but I'm just trying to say this. I love Bonanza. So I
didn't know that you like Western stuff so much. I'm
what?
learning about you.
My mom, and I think I just started really liking it because I was missing my mom, and I was like, oh, I want to watch Bonanza, and then so they had a where they had some Asians doing like, and they had Marla Thomas.
Marla
Thomas playing an Asian woman. I said, well, but it's just so funny how they like any type of nationality.
Mm-hmm.
Besides white, they would have somebody white playing that. Basically. And it was just so, I was like, wow.
Yeah, well, white people are just such great actors. They can play anything.
Listen,
that's what
they
it
can.
is. Yeah.
Go ahead, y'all. But it just, I was just like, wow. But just looking back, and it's like, you can't get mad because it's almost like a, dang, y'all played us like that for real. Yeah, that's what y'all thought about us.
It's bonkers, but I don't like the kind of cancel culture and erase culture where people want to just pretend that things didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like,
because you have to know.
Should a town still have like some racist Confederate statue up? No, they probably shouldn't.
Right.
It should go into a museum though.
Right.
Don't like, you know what I mean?
So you'll know
right. That's part of what the history is.
It is, right.
So you don't need to put those things up as if they're still like good things.
Was so, baby, when I tell you, I was so shocked. I was like, I said, wait, what is that? What are they doing? I got into the high register.
You did.
I did.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna have an awkward transition back to the Golden Girls now.
That's okay.
Because we're talking about psychological things now.
Right.
And so I want to talk about whenever Rose failed her ink blot test. This was one of my favorite jokes from this whole episode.
What is Rose?
She failed the ink blot test. Like, how do you fail an ink blot test? She's like, I didn't know you weren't supposed to cut them out.
Cut them out.
Brilliant joke.
Yeah.
That is an
Rose,
amazing joke.
Come on, sugar.
That is, because...
She said, I didn't know you weren't supposed to cut them out. So they come back like, what is it?
Oh,
like puzzles.
That's the most Rose answer of all time, though.
Poor Rose.
Mm-hmm.
That is so hilarious.
So, the plot of this one does involve Blanche feeling bad that no one's responding to Rose's personal ad.
With good intentions.
With very good intentions. Then she decides to create a man to respond to her, because this is the good old days. This is before Tinder. This is before all the apps.
Grindr.
This is like actually taking an ad out in a personals column, writing, actually taking
Not
pen
Craigslist.
to paper, writing things out,
actually the classifieds,
and getting then you go check your post office box and see who wrote back to you.
Exactly.
And because that's what it used to be like.
It did.
And so
innocent.
But no one was writing to her, so Blanche made up Isaac Newton to be the man that writes to her.
Blanche, why? Why Isaac
It was the
Newton?
first name she thought of, except it wasn't. The first name she thought of was Ted Koppel. But she dismissed it. Yeah, she dismissed it because he looked like Howdy Doody's illegitimate
child. Which
is not inaccurate.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, Ted. Yeah.
Poor Ted Koppel.
I know.
Everything's going fine on this plan until Rose decides she does want to meet him.
And then, but who? Again, we had the innocence of the white pages looking up somebody.
Yeah, look. There's only one Isaac Newton in all of Miami.
In Miami, one Isaac Newton, and Then he decided to move to Canada, Saskatchewan.
To be the first citrus farmer in a dome citrus farm or something. Yeah. That's what they're writing him away.
Pot?
I don't know. I didn't even look it up.
I didn't either.
But
we had so much in common.
So Rose calls up Isaac Newton, and the great character actor Paul Dooley plays Isaac Newton in this episode. Do you recognize him?
He was in 16 Candles.
He was the dad in 16 Candles. He's the dad in 16
Candles.
Yep. And he's been in a ton of things.
Yeah.
So he comes, and he is perfect because I love when that first interaction, because he is, of course, kind of like a male Rose. He's this kind of like in his own little kind of bubble world.
His tie in his pocket.
His little like ditzy kind of energy. And I love whenever Rose and Blanche are standing in the background, and Dorothy's all for like, we have to tell her right now.
Right.
And then once Blanche realizes,
she's like, wait a minute.
let this play
this
out. She's
might
like,
happen.
It's
this
a
might...
miracle. Like, because it, like, yeah, that they actually seem like a good fit.
Right.
But of course, whenever Rose does find out that it was all a setup,
she's not very happy.
No, because, someone's trying to do something nice to you, but they did deceive you.
Right. That's, yeah.
And she goes.
Have you ever tried to do something for somebody and it just backfired?
Not like lying like that. No,
Okay,
I don't think so.
neither.
I've never tried to. I mean, I've seen enough TVs and sitcoms and movies to know that you just can't do that.
I watch enough Lifetime movies to know it ain't gonna work.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work out right.
Work at all.
No, although actually it does usually work out in the movies, because what happens in all the movies and stuff is people are mad at you, but they're mad at first when they find out they've been lied to, but then ultimately everything works out.
They feel the intention of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
That ain't the real world.
I just watched the old Goldie Hawn and Steve Martin romantic comedy House Sitter.
Oh, yeah.
Where she's like the total con artist, goes and lives in his house after his girlfriend doesn't want to like marry him and live in that house. And spoiler alert, they end up together.
Listen.
Even though that relationship started on a lie.
Yes, it did. It's a little creepy, though.
Yeah,
it's a little creepy.
It is.
But love conquers all.
Well, it does in movies and TV most of the time.
Real life?
Yeah. Not in real life. No, definitely not. No. I think you need to be a little more honest in the real world.
Yeah, you do.
Just a little.
So, yeah, she finds out, and they finally talk her off the ledge.
Out of the bathroom.
Yeah,
Have you? That's what I wanted to. That was one of my favorite things. Again, something you always see in movies and TV shows and everything, when someone locks themselves in the bathroom in a dramatic way, and then they're getting coaxed out. Have you ever like locked yourself in a bathroom or anything? No,
can't say that I have. No.
Yeah, nor have I.
I've locked people in a bath. That's a whole nother show. I'm sorry. We're gonna edit that out. No.
I believe it. What about I like whenever Paul Dooley walks into the ladies' room, and this is one of those fancy ladies' rooms that has the lounge.
Yes.
And he thinks that the big settee out in
and he thought it was like
the toilet. He's like, how do you flush that?
Oh my gosh. He just
men's rooms don't usually have a lounge in them like some fancy ladies' rooms do.
Right.
So I think when I first discovered that there are ladies' rooms that have like basically a lounge in them before, that was news to me as well.
Right.
And I think that used to be more common in the old,
Yeah,
I don't know if you are there.
I have not seen. First of all, I think that's kind of nasty because some people just nasty and don't wash their hands. And then they sitting on stuff. Yeah, I can't do it.
No,
that's not an option.
You don't want plush furniture anywhere near the.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got.
Because then you flush the toilet, water fly.
Okay.
No. Yeah, so it ended well, but then this is hilarious.
What?
How Isaac Newton said he started to believe everything that was in the letter because Rose was talking.
She was talking about it so much. Yeah.
Right. So that was funny.
Oh, actually, I think one of the funniest things in this whole show wasn't probably meant to be funny, and that was Dorothy's outfit that she wore. To that green thing with a bow tie.
Did you see it? And the long. Yeah, I didn't know if that was a top. Then it went into the skirt.
It was just B. Arthur's signature sort of draping.
Yeah.
Is what that was.
And I didn't know. Was it crushed velvet? Was it velour?
I don't know.
But the bow tie killed it.
It asked more questions than it answered.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was just.
It's too much.
Yeah, it was too much.
It's a little too much.
I mean, we can talk about Golden Girls fashion.
Oh my God, that needs to be an episode.
Well,
the fashions.
I have a friend who's a fashion designer. Maybe I'll have her come on here and we can just talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because we need to know. I need answers.
Yeah.
I need answers, people.
I
don't need answers about the shoulder pads because that was the thing. And I remember my dad was a tailor. So I had shoulder pads. And you wanted
the big pads. Yeah, you talked about that. Yeah, you told him about making you big pads.
Listen.
It's a good look.
It was.
So we finally have gotten back on topic to the Golden Girls, but we haven't talked at all about food. This episode has nothing food in it, I don't think. I don't think they even really reference anything.
Well, Sophia, she was eating a graham cracker. I remember that.
Oh, graham crackers. So, I did just make a lemon meringue pie for a friend for Mother's Day. A friend of mine's mom, she's not vegan, but her mom has a dairy allergy, so she asked me if I could make her a lemon meringue pie.
Nice.
And had a delicious graham cracker crust on that. But
graham crackers are awesome.
Yeah, and I made the aquafaba meringue. It was delicious. And
wait, did you post that?
I think I did in my story that I was making one, but I don't think
I
didn't post pictures.
You showed
me whipping. I think
filling or something.
Yeah, the filling. I was making the filling.
Yeah,
so
that looked good.
I say it was delicious. I didn't actually get to eat any of it because it was someone else's pie. But they told me it was delicious, and her mom was like so happy about it. They called me while they were eating it on Mother's Day to and her mom wanted to ask me 1,000 questions about how did you make this?
She's like, wait a minute,
how is that possible?
That's so
how does this not have any
awesome.
Animal stuff in it?
That is so awesome.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Look at you
I'm always
bringing the people
nervous.
together.
I'm very nervous because I made it that I browned the meringue that morning, and before I took it over to her house, I was very worried about ruining and burning the meringue.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Did you use a
No, I don't have a nice little torch, so I had to put it under the broiler in the oven. And I just had the door open the whole time, and I was just constantly rotating it because I didn't want it to burn, because it can go from being like just right to being totally
to a disaster.
Yeah, to a total disaster in about half a second.
Right.
So it's scary stuff.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking.
It is.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have had time to make another one.
Oh, so. But it looked good. I'm about to pull it up. Yeah, it did. I said,
I don't think they sent me pictures of them, but since that wasn't like in my. I wanted pictures of it, but I didn't take pictures of it before I
But it looked amazing.
Why, thank you.
I was I was impressed.
Yeah, and have you been cooking up anything special this week?
You know what? I've been on this the plant-based shrimp stuff.
Oh, I noticed.
Making different.
What's the name of that company? Like
Beleaf.
Beleaf
Vegan.
Yeah, it's like BELEAF. Beleaf. And because you can't ever really have seafood, so now you have these vegan shrimp.
I've never had seafood, so and people are like, well, does it taste like shrimp? I'm like, I don't know,
but it tastes good.
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah. I tell people I have no idea, but it's really good.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, so
it looked
was
good.
Really, yeah, it was.
You made? Did you make a scampi? And what else did you do?
I made a shrimp scampi. I made shrimp and grits.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the grits.
And I actually want to get some more because I want to do a fried shrimp.
Oh, mm-hmm.
I want to see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then
do you know what it's made out of? Is it made out of the sea cucumber-y kind of thing? It's like is that what it's made out of?
It's
I can't remember. Not a sea cucumber, but a sea.
No, it's plant-based, so it's like the kanji powder. Just regular stuff. It's like it's soy-free and gluten-free.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So
and delicious, apparently.
It is.
All right.
I really like it.
I have to get some of those sometime.
You do.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
All right.
I'm just saying.
And do you have anything else you want to talk about before we say goodbye to these lovely people?
I have nothing.
Got nothing coming up because the world is slightly opening up, but it's still kind of shut down.
You know what? I'm still gonna stay a little hidden a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not rushing out, except for I did get my hair cut.
But you know what? I'm thinking about doing some weekly meals, but I don't know, people. I don't know. Just check the website, www.urbansweetness.com, and check me out on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, urban_sweetness. That's all I got.
And your new website looks like Sealy from colorpurple.com.
There you go. Me and you will never part.
And you can find me at bitchyveganhomo.com and on Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest at bitchyveganhomo, and on Facebook as BVH Show. The podcast, you can follow us on Twitter at Vegan Cheese Pod, on Facebook Vegan Cheesecake, and then at Instagram Vegan Cheesecake Pod. So yes, there's just to be as confusing as humanly possible.
Absolutely.
And Vicki, thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend.